Did anybody else do the drums? Yeah. I get it over here. I was ready to go. You know, it grows on you. So what's up, everybody? It's the QSC DJ Discussion Ladies Edition. I am DJ Keelez, your moderator for today. Welcome, everybody. What's up, Gail? Thank you for joining us. Happy Wednesday. And I am here to bring you another hour of amazing DJ related information wherever we go. I don't even know, but we will get there at one point. What we're going to start off with, though, is introductions. As always, I see some people filing in. And don't forget to shout yourself out in the chat box, too. We want to know where you're tuning in from. We want your input. Today is about everybody who's watching and also on the panel. So use the chat box. Don't be shy, y'all. But once again, I'm DJ Keelez, based out of Los Angeles. I specialize in super fun, high energy, private events, weddings, corporate functions, festivals. I am also an LGBT event specialist. I am also a multicultural wedding expert. And I am, again, your moderator for today. Always so excited to be here with you all and with QSC. I'm going to get the introductions for the rest of my amazing panel, which you have probably seen them here once or twice before, but they are so great. We always bring them back. AK, let them know a little something about yourself.
Hey guys, I'm AK out of Los Angeles, California. I'm an open format DJ, so I play all the stuff, and I got my 8-year DJ anniversary coming up this Tuesday, guys.
Nice.
So pretty exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. It goes fast, you know what I mean? Like,
oh my God. It feels like I've only been DJing for like 3 years.
And the thing is, you're always constantly learning too with DJing. Like, it's just, I mean, Anna can tell you because you're a teacher too. Well, actually, I'll use it to segue to you. But as a teacher, you know, you're constantly learning. I'm sure you've been in the game for what, 20 something years now at this point? For the minute,
22.
Wow.
Awesome. Wow, that's crazy. So, Anna, tell us about yourself since we're bringing you up here.
So I apologize. My allergies are bothering me a bit, so I sound a little hoarse. So yeah. 22 years of DJing. I mean, I started back in the day of vinyl, got to see the progression into, digital, all that. Do a little bit of everything, a little bit of turntablism, club events, private events, pretty much everything. I'm all around.
Nice. Love it. Awesome. Glad to have you here. And our girl from Vegas, the city that doesn't sleep and the girl that doesn't sleep, Kriscut. Let's hear a little bit.
Good morning, everybody. I actually got decent sleep today. My name is DJ Kriscut, hailing from Las Vegas, originally from Southern California. I started as a club DJ. Now I do all kinds of events, mostly just lounge stuff now, restaurant vibes, and I'm a full-time Twitch DJ as well. So
awesome. Yes, absolutely. And, Kriscut is the Twitch queen, and we have AK, who's also a Twitch queen, both of them killing it.
I'm a Twitch princess.
Twitch
Prince is the queen, okay?
She's the queen.
I'm a princess. One day.
Props for there too. I love it. They're both. I know you're both killing it. I always say, and I'm always impressed when I see everything that you guys got going on. So always a good time to watch you guys, and amazing to see how you interact and you're able to, just sustain those followers and stay up so late at night. Props to you all. Definitely with that. Yeah. So cool. So let's go ahead and dive into, once again, this is the DJ discussion. We are talking all things DJ related. And I know it has been a crazy month for a lot of us, probably all of us. I don't know about you guys, but October has just been a booking machine. Events are back and it has just been something else.
You can't even find the words. You're like, it's just.
Yeah. I'm doing my best to survive. I'm trying. I'm loving it. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that, the burnout is a real thing. And I think I've definitely, and also knowing your worth and valuing yourself. I am learning the importance of that because, you can so easily, you can book all the cheap jobs in the world, but that's going to catch up to you at the end of the day. So you have to value yourself and understand, like, listen, the reason you charge a price is because what we do for a living is not easy. It's mentally exhausting. It's physically exhausting, and it takes talent. Not anybody can do what we do. And I am learning that very, very hardcore this month. But you know what? It's a good learning experience. And just like I said, whether you've been in it for 20 years, 8 years, you're just getting into it, you're going to constantly learn as we go. So AK, I know you've been busy. I know because you've been doing some events for me, killing events. I just want to say AK has killed several events for me, and she still has some amazing events coming up. So shout out to you. But you've been working it, huh?
Oh my God. I'm literally exhausted. Like October, I feel like October, is that considered officially like holiday season? October?
I think we're getting there.
I guess so. Because Halloween, I guess, is part of that
season. So I guess that counts.
Pumped up. I don't know, but everybody's been having stuff, like so much stuff. So I've really been just learning the power of like writing everything down, even when inquiries come in. I'll just still put it down on the calendar with a little question mark because the stuff is coming in so fast. Like November is like more than halfway booked. So it's been a little nuts. So I'm very exhausted, wondering just, from gig to gig, what the protocol is going to be with the COVID thing. So I'm trying to juggle all of that, manage all of that stuff. I try not to complain because, we've all been out of work for quite some time, but it's tricky how my body is like trying to get back adjusted. I didn't realize pre-pandemic, like I didn't notice how physical the job was before. I just was doing it. And now I just really notice. I always give myself like even more time than I used to set up because I don't know. I'm like moving slower or the knees are just older. I don't know what's happening, but I need all the time. I need the time. And like, I don't know, it's been kind of nuts. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to need some young, hot thing to come and set up all of this stuff for me because I can't keep doing this.
I know. Yeah. I've definitely learned to appreciate jobs that are provide equipment and, definitely weighing my options with that. And, hey, listen, at the end of the day, I think, it's valid to start having that discussion with clients in terms of seeing, what they can provide for you so you're not breaking your back to come. Because, at the end of the day, we're already providing our talent. So I think it's something that definitely we have to consider. So DJ, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Anna, what do you think? I see you shaking your head down there.
No, I'm just thinking like before pre-pandemic on a Saturday, I would like stack. I would do 3 gigs on a Saturday.
Anna, no way.
No, how the hell I did it.
Right.
Wait a minute. If you do 3 gigs in a one day, like what would the time blocks be for you to do 3 gigs in one day?
Like an early, like a brunch or an in-store, like 11 to 3, 11 to 4. And then I would do something like a restaurant gig, like, I'd have like an hour or two between like a 6 to 10 and then 10 to 2.
Oh my God, girl.
No, I didn't. I don't, because like now it's like, I have consecutive gigs from like Thursday to like Sunday. And then like Monday, I just want to die. I just lay in bed. I'm not.
Are you doing multiples now?
Anything. Like the only thing I'll do is like my little scratch warm-ups and stuff like that. But it's like, I'm pretty tired.
Yeah. Are you doing multiples now with all the, since everything's so nuts and people are booking?
I just started picking up some multiples, which probably, I don't know, but I'll have to make sure I'm like free the next day. Cause I'm like, I can't do this and then still DJ the next day.
Yeah.
Whereas like before I would stack 3 on a Saturday, Sunday too, like, I don't know how I did it.
Yeah, no.
I know. That's crazy. I know. I had a gig opportunity come through that was the set time, a call time of 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. And I'm working both days this weekend. And I, honest to God, considered it. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to pass this opportunity along to somebody that's on my roster. Say, let's do this because I just don't know. I don't need it that, like, it was a great opportunity to sound like an amazing gig. But I'm like, I just to think of doing 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. to have to pop up and then do a wedding that night. And then I have a gig that I start at 5:30. I'm doing a Finish Fest in downtown LA on Sunday. And I got to be there at 5:30. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to be a mess. So I had to like, I still took it. I had put a DJ on it, but I'm like, I wanted so badly to put myself on there, but I had to like get past that DJ mentality of that you know what I mean? Like you want to do the job. So I can't, my health, you know what I mean? I felt like my mental health and just like physical health was not going to be worth taking.
I would say too, even finding DJs that are free right now is impossible. Or how many people message me like, hey, can you cover this? Hey, can you cover this? It's like, bro, I'm booked. And then they'd be like, I'm screwed. Like I messaged 30, 40 DJs and like everybody's booked. And it's just like, it's not a bad thing. Again, I'm not complaining about that, but it's just like, we literally like nobody has any free time right now. Like what AK was saying about like October, like, it's just like, I needed to find a gig, somebody for a corporate gig next weekend. And I'm like, I just told the client, I'm like, man, it's Halloween weekend. Like, it's going to be a little tough to find a DJ right now.
Oh my God. Who's trying to book for Halloween on the 20th?
I've had so
really
many
paying
inquiries.
corporate gig too, and I'm like,
So many.
everybody's booked, and I'm like,
Every website that sells costumes are sold out of everything. This Halloween, it's going down. If there was no other Halloween where you should have got ahead of it, it should definitely be this one. Like, people are ready. They're having parties. They're buying the stuff. Like,
Oh, it's
Yeah.
yeah. It's gonna be.
that's crazy that they would try to book this close to Halloween.
That's why you gotta have your closet full of a couple costumes that you're like go to. Like I got my shark costume. My costume is just a red shirt and like a green beanie. Like you gotta come up with what you need. You know what I mean?
I've been Chun-Li the last 4 years, so whatever.
Hey,
The
there
same
you go.
costume for
Hey, it
Yeah.
works out. You know what I mean? Yeah, there you go. Just as long as they release a movie or a song, well, you're good to go. You can keep
Yeah.
you're all good. How's Vegas going too? Is Vegas still pretty crazy right now? Are you guys doing the same thing over there?
Oh yeah, crazy. I like you guys were saying, I just did 30 hours from Thursday to Sunday, like back to back, like a after hours private party, and it was like, wow. At least I didn't have to bring anything, so that was good. So like it was just
30
like,
hours booked and you and streamed.
yeah. So I was lucky enough to stream from one of my venues.
Okay.
Like a couple of them actually. So I did like a private party where they allowed us to stream the music, but they were like special dancers, call them special dancers.
Oh,
So I couldn't turn my camera around, but
you can see the special dancers.
yeah, a special dancer did come up to me and they
Oh,
wave at
no.
the camera. So I was like,
You
I have
know,
to
those
delete
special
this off of
dancers-
Twitter. I'm
In
gonna get
cowboy
my
boots.
I gotta like make sure because like I was like, I gotta delete this stream or I might get blocked off of Twitch because she was like half naked. So
That is
I was like,
amazing. I did
but
it.
yeah, Vegas is crazy still.
Yeah, I did a New Year's Eve party where we had a special dancer on a Zoom call. So it was very interesting during the pandemic. That was like when the pandemic first started. I said, "Oh wow, they're making their money too." So
They're making their money.
They
I
are
think
making
that is so cool.
yeah,
on
but
I'm
Zoom.
here for it.
Play Twitch, like my friend had just like he did like a little twerk contest on Twitch, and he got banned for like 2 weeks.
I remember.
Really?
Yeah,
I had a special dancer for New Year's Eve.
naked, like it was just like a little twerking contest.
Oh wow, that's so crazy.
Yeah,
It's all timing though, right? If an employee just happens to be like combing through streams and that freeze frame of your stream is like a booty or something, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh no, we lost BB.
That's so crazy. Not the freeze frame is a booty.
really funny.
Right? So I think that's the funny part about streaming, right? AK, because like when you're browsing through people's feeds, it just screen captures something.
Yeah.
One time, our friend DJ Showtime, he didn't realize that he had like an Arnold Schwarzenegger dance or something, like twerking in front of him, and then the freeze frame on the main page was like him looking at Arnold's crotch, and it was hilarious. I was like, and then you click on it, and you're like, what is happening here?
Oh my God.
So, but that's something we deal with on streaming. It's like you always have to kind of be on and make sure you're like I don't know how to say it, like always presenting because it's always on. So
Really funny.
anyway,
Yeah, hey, whatever gets those views, you know what I mean? So,
I know whatever gets the viewers.
hey, what I think whatever, it's interesting. Like you never know what day of the week, right? That the platforms are gonna pick and choose what's gonna get you in trouble and everything like that. They were just
Right.
Did you hear about that? There's a museum, I think it's like an Italian museum or something, that just opened an OnlyFans account because they were posting artwork and they kept getting banned from like Instagram and TikTok. They were banning the like nude.
It must be like nude.
Oh, the nudity.
Yeah. So now they're on OnlyFans and it's a museum. So it's funny. That's
Well,
like,
what's funny is that OnlyFans is wanting more different type of content. So they've been kind of like advertising to DJs and
I know I've gotten
people
those.
that are in other categories that do other stuff to come over to OnlyFans. I know a few DJs. I actually created a page to do some streaming on there, but tell me when I've had time to do that. So
I have a friend in Chicago that does it. She said she was doing really well on it. This was during the pandemic though, and she's definitely not, taking her clothes off. I can tell you that much. But
yeah,
she said she was doing really well.
I heard a lot of people do.
Yeah, but I never got around to it.
And
Yeah.
TikTok too. Some people have been streaming on TikTok, making really good money also.
One of my students has like 40,000 followers
Oh,
Wow.
on TikTok. And she was literally like, well, what do you think of my mixes? I was like, I think you're doing just fine. You got 40,000 followers. Like,
Wow.
Got DJ related content with that 40,000?
What's up?
Is it all DJ related
Oh
content?
yeah, she's just doing like
Oh, that's
mashups.
interesting.
Yeah, she's just doing straight up mashups and like live mashups. And I don't know if you've seen some of them, the reels come through on Instagram sometimes too. And it's like, it's just them like looking cute, doing little mashups, and some of them are really good too. So it's, but people love them.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do in 15-second minute blocks as a DJ. Like really, just people don't. The average person doesn't know any better. So they, it's amazing how easily you can impress people. I don't think you realize that as a DJ. I think when you know too much, you're like killing yourself to like do these like crazy moves. But really, in reality, on TikTok, it takes 15 seconds. And what can you do in 15 seconds? Like you got to be really impressive and really quick. You know what I mean? But I find people just doing super quick, easy stuff and people love it. You know what I mean? They just want to be able to see it and, be able to know, oh, cool, that's a transition. They don't want to wait 2 minutes in between transitions. So,
2 minutes these days is like too long for the attention span. I'm telling you, it's like they can't deal with it.
That one dude, he's got like 3 million followers, and they've caught him before too, like DJing and none of his gear's plugged in.
Is that the guy with the mask?
Oh, the guy with the mask.
Whoever is doing the remixes is dope. I don't know if
the guy with the mask.
Yeah, but it's his gear's never plugged in.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was thinking, well, maybe he. Do you think that he's actually doing them and he's just laying the audio over instead of actually performing it live?
Yeah, because like if you watch, and anyone that owns any of this DJ gear, like I have a push back here, like that's not how this works. Same with the mic.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, nah, that's not how this works.
I've always thought that. Yeah, when I watch him, I'm like, oh yeah, that's interesting how he's like, because it's funny that he's using an S9, and you're like, I didn't know like an standalone S9, which is like I wouldn't think he would use that for that kind of production, but it's funny. I mean, I guess you could work if you really wanted to, but.
Well, when you're on line vinyl too, you know what I mean? Like the line switch and the buttons are green.
Yeah, I saw that. They're green. Yeah, right.
Anything.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
And people were coming in the comments like letting him know like this is a fraud and people do not care.
At the end of the day, you can't hate on the dude because he's got 300 million followers or whatever it is. Like
it's working.
He's got his hustle, man. So it's like, yeah, we can all be DJs and like, kind of joke about it and whatever, but at the same time it's like, well, he's got the followers, he thought of this first, so it's like, well,
right.
Yeah, I mean,
can I ask you guys your level of TikTokness? Like, because like for me, I don't own a TikTok account. Zero. I don't have an account. I don't have an account either. Like, so Anna, do you have an account? BB, you guys have accounts?
I have an account. I've tried. It's a lot of work for me. I've tried. I just I want to be more into it, but yeah, I can't figure out which realm I want to go in terms of doing stuff.
Right.
This elder brain doesn't get it. I'm like, I don't know what's happening here. I want to be in there because I see some really fun. TikTok actually has some good content, but I only see it from other people sending it to me. I haven't even begun to like get into that world. I literally know nothing about it, but people are doing well on TikTok, like huge followers on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how much time do you think, like if we all decided, hey, let's do a TikTok, I mean, in addition to how busy you already are, I mean, do you think if you got, like, if your TikTok was blowing up like that, like, how you guys say, oh, see, so for me too, I tried to go to another platform to stream, like, and it was like, I just have to stick with Twitch because, for me, Twitch is like the money, and then... So it was like, you could try to build. So you kind of stick with that one. So what do you guys think if people decided, hey, let's do a TikTok? I mean, would that take out too much of our time? Or do you think it's too time intensive? Or could we be at a gig and be like, hey, I'm on TikTok and then just show them, For
me, just coming up with routines in general is like, it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of, it's a lot of like starting over and, make the routine and then to record it. And it's like, you're doing like, 25 to 30 takes before you get a good one. That's like a half a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
15 second versus a minute on Instagram. I guess you could probably knock them out, a bit quicker.
Yeah,
but
true.
Yeah, like on Instagram stories, you're
juggling
just like,
all of that. I don't know. Like, women, we're kind of detail oriented, perfectionist kind of types. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like I wouldn't have the extra time. If I'm going to be putting out content, the content can't be all willy-nilly. It has to be the same level of content that I'm putting wherever I'm putting out the content. As it already stands, even managing the Instagram posts, taking time out for that during the week is time. Like you see a post and you're like, oh, this is great. Yeah, it took me 40 minutes to compile the information, get all the tags, you know, figure out what to say, you know, get the right clip, this and that, and blah, 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 put some, you know, fix the audio on the clip. So I don't know, like between just real life gigs, actually still trying to make a commitment to my streaming community to be on 3 times a week, managing the Instagram, the inquiries in the background, you know, prepping the music for all the gigs and, you know, the follow-up with people. I'm like,
well, I still think aesthetically too, because like you're gonna want your hair done, you're gonna want your nails done.
yeah,
Like makeup, you're gonna want a fresh shirt that no one's ever seen before.
I know the shirts, man.
It's all the stuff.
It's like, you know, those things don't get added into it as like a woman, where like a dude just puts on like a shirt and like a hat and it's like it's fresh.
Yeah.
You know, he's got
Right.
on. There's the whole outfit. The rest is okay, you know. So
Right,
it's like
yeah.
with us, it's like again, it's like we have to have our, you know, manicure at least, you know, and be looking cute and do like that whole thing, you know.
Oh my God.
Groom themselves. But, you know,
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time intensive.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people talk about content repurposing. So like taking content from one, like let's say you take your Twitch and then put it on Instagram and taking that and putting that on TikTok, so you don't necessarily have to film a bunch of different videos, just finding the clips that work, which is still work though. And then I have another friend who records a lot, and then she just says that she just changes her shirt between takes. So she'll do some takes and then she change her shirt so that she has
Oh, that's smart.
yeah, so I mean, it makes sense. So then you can only do it in one sitting, but you have several different clips you can take from.
Oh my God, that's so smart. I would start doing that on Twitch. People be like, what the hell is she doing? Why are you changing your
Just
shirt?
wear layers. Start with like a hoodie.
I creatively need that. I need that break. Like I couldn't be able to just like boom, boom, boom it. Like I would need
Right.
like a couple hours, some lunch. You know what I mean? Like
So how do you guys like, what do you got? What are some of your hacks for like burnout, like as a DJ? Like, are there something in particular that you guys do to kind of combat the burnout or things that you've picked up? Because I feel like I'm now focused more on having work-life balance after, you know, being on lockdown and all this other stuff. Like, I don't really think I was paying attention. Like Anna was saying, she was like stacking gigs and wouldn't even really notice it. But I'm like, kind of trying to be proactive about just making sure that I'm able to do all of these jobs at 100% and not be booked and doing one at 20 and one at 60% and then this one at 80. So what are you guys doing to help with all of that stuff?
I don't know. I'm so burnt out. Ask me in a few you know, I don't know. I mean, for me, I'll be honest with you, I was getting to the point that I was just so burnt out that I wasn't like taking time to even do like self-care, like, you know what I mean? Like instead of like, you know, like
Yeah.
your facial, washing your face routine at the end of the night, I was just kind of like conking out, and I was just like, I was really getting mad at myself because I'm like, you know, I don't even have like the 2 minutes to do it. But then I'm like, you know what, you just have to take the time to do it, and you just have to like, just so you said, like figure out, like say, listen, this is what's important to me, and I'm gonna do this, and just stop. You know, I layer things on to the point that I'm just exhausted, and I'm like, you know, you just don't have to do that. Sometimes you just, I think, have to be willing to walk away. And also learn to say no is one of the things I'm learning, is like learning to say no and learning that it's okay to appreciate, you know, yourself and your own needs. I mean, for me personally, but I'm still working on that. I mean, definitely I think the pandemic for me personally gave me that wherewithal of like, yeah, you definitely have to work this out because you can burn out really quick.
Yeah.
I think for me, I like to take a lot of baths. That's like my me time. And like, I just like, you know, I'll go have like a heavy workout in the morning and then I'll just literally sit in the bathtub for like an hour. Sometimes I bring my phone, sometimes I don't. I do breathing exercises on the Calm app. I try to just like center myself and like feel good. I thought working out helps a lot too, you know, like that helps me kind of get to like that point that I can sit in the bath. Because if not, I'm gonna be like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Oh my God, I have to do this video, this.
Yeah.
And also like journaling, I found helps a lot. Or when those ideas do come in, like, oh, I have to do this, I just, you know, I put them in my phone or I put it in my journal. Don't forget. Or I have a whiteboard over here. You can't see it, but it's literally got like everything I need to do today, like on the board, so that I don't let it bother me while I'm doing this with you guys. And I'm not like, you know, all over the place. I think it's, you know, the mental health part of it is like, it is pretty important. And to just, like I said, like Mondays, I don't do anything, you know, I try not to take any gigs on Mondays. And I kind of just try to have that day for me, which I had never done before either. So I find that. And then when I get like burnt out on DJing, because that happens too, and people don't realize it. And it's like, you don't want to we hear the same songs a lot and you get kind of bored. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you get caught in like your own little routine where you feel like you're just kind of playing like the same stuff over and over again, or you're playing the same songs back to back. My fatigue in that, I listen to a lot of mixes, like, you know, when I'm working out. So I got the DJ City podcast app always on, always listening to that. Or
well, make sure you listen to mine on there, Anna.
Good.
Shameless plug.
You started with the Still Tippin', I remember.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And then what else? I for me personally, like as a turntablist, like I go to like, you know, Phase DJ and the superhero page, and I just like constantly watch when I'm in the bathtub sometimes, you know, I'll like literally watch videos to like get inspired, and then it's like, all right, I've done my comm, now I watch this, and I'm like so excited when I get out and I'm like inspired. So those are a few things that work for me.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah. What about you, Chris?
For me, it's more of like I like both of yours, but like for me too, it's like I actually spend time with my mom because my mom lives with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to the casino, take her to play some, you know, kind of like unwind. Yeah, we'll play bingo, or you know, because
Jealous.
I feel so bad like for my mom because like last week she was stuck in the house for like literally like 6 days straight. You know, so last night I took her out. You know, we played a little bit of slots. You know, because you forget too, like, you know, when we get older, and if we're lucky enough to have that kind of time, you know, like I don't have any kids. I know we don't. Nobody here has kids, right? So I mean,
No.
and
If
we
I
can't
have a
look like
child
not that
running
we know.
around here, I would be freaking
You know,
out. No
guys.
kids. I have dogs.
You have dogs, so you have fur babies, but
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, you know, I'm like, you know, a lot of like for me, I feel like I'm probably not going to have any kids. So like, I'm kind of like, when I get to my mom's age, what am I going to be doing when I'm in my 70s? You know, God permitting that I hit my 70s or 80s or 90s, you know, so something to think about too. What do you guys think about like what we're doing? We're like grinding so hard now. We can only DJ for a little bit more because we're lucky to look, you know, a little bit younger. What do you guys think about that? Like, what do you guys think?
Well, I plan to be hot into my 70s personally.
There we go.
Yes, yes. I'm here for it. Come on.
But you know who's good to actually talk about that? Who actually had a really good example of that? AK, the other day, we were talking, and she was talking about she was doing a bunch of stuff on the financial back end of her life in terms of like 401k, retirements, and stock stuff. If you are a DJ and you're young, you look into that right now, because it's on us to handle our retirement. And if you are not doing that stuff now when you are, you know, young, you're nobody's going to do it for you. We don't have a company that's like giving us a match or anything like that. So
we need a union, man. We need a union. Like, we need a union.
Yeah, I mean, that would be amazing. But so, AK, what did you do? You found a financial advisor or somebody that
So I actually did a gig with a client of mine that's pretty wealthy, her and her fiance, and she has her own business, and we're kind of good friends, and she has a financial advisor that came to the event, and I was just kind of talking to him just from being the DJ there, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah, well, give me a call. We can kind of look at your finances and kind of figure out what will work for you. And I'm like, oh my God, look at my finances.
Yeah, that's
because,
like,
you know, sometimes you're not really, when you're making money, you're not necessarily like, I'm not spending money crazy. Don't get me wrong, but you're not always like nickel and diming and nitpicking every little thing. If you're making money, if you need to buy something, if I need to buy something, I'm just going to buy it. And like, I spend most of my money on food because I do a plant-based, organic, non-GMO diet. So I'm spending like $200 and $300 at the grocery store. So it's not like I'm going like nuts, but I was just kind of nerve-wracking to have someone kind of comb through your spending habits and all of that stuff. But I met up with him and we kind of just figured out a plan. He just basically told me the best thing for me to do right now would be to get some life insurance, interest-bearing life insurance, and also interest-bearing retirement account. So that's what I did. And so I feel really good about that. And that is another reason why I'm trying to segue on to the production side of things, because, you know, I want to DJ because I want to DJ. If I'm 70 and I book a job, fine. But I don't want to have to be thinking about booking jobs when I'm that age. So I feel like the production will be a good thing for me to do, you know, behind the scenes where I'm not like, it's not as physically demanding and I could just DJ when I feel like it. Hence the reason why I set up the accounts. And then I took my remaining 401k money. I took the whole thing and just invested it in stocks, and it's doing really well. Like, it's so crazy. The money was sitting there like 7 years, and I probably made not even $100 off of that money. And within 3 months of just picking the right stocks, and I'm not moving stuff around. I just set it and forget it. I've already made like $3,000 from just putting the money into the stocks. I'm like, what the hell were you doing? If I would have did that 7 years ago, like I would have so much money right now. Like it was kind of nuts, but I'm here now. So it feels good. It is a little jarring to see that lump sum of money coming out of your account for the retirement and the life insurance. But I know
every month
that I was like, oh, okay. So I am driving a Mercedes, but not driving a Mercedes. But okay, got it. So that took a little getting used to the first couple of months, but it's good. Like I feel very settled in that decision because I kind of just don't want to get to a point where I need things or I need certain care and I'm trying to scramble to get it. I watched a couple of documentaries with like elders that losing homes and this, and I'm like, I can't have that. So trying to be proactive about that now. So far, so good though. Yeah. So far, so good. I encourage any DJ out there to figure out what retirement looks like for you and start working on it now. Even if you have only been DJing for a couple of years, if this is going to be your career, you start working on it now, because I'm from a 9-to-5 culture and all of that stuff was kind of taken care of for me. And even when it was, I still wasn't taking advantage of the stocks that they were offering at jobs that I had. And, I wasn't really paying attention to that kind of stuff. And it can be scary when it's left all to you to kind of figure out.
Absolutely.
It's just wild they don't teach us this in high school.
Oh my God, they're teaching us so much shit we don't need.
Yeah. But I kind of did the same thing a couple of years ago. A DJ friend of mine was like, hey girl, have you ever thought about this? And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I was just realizing, I'm like, I'm getting a bit older. I should probably do this. But yeah, I did the life insurance, the retirement and all that. And it hurt a bit during the pandemic because I'm not working and then I'm just watching this money come out.
You're like, wait a minute.
I was just like, what do you mean? You're going to take this much every month, But, now I know that money's there when, in 20, 30 years when I do have to, retire or whatever it is, but I personally plan on going into like the restaurant business because I am a chef part-time and my partner is a bartender and
nice.
kind of want to own like a little coffee shop / like restaurant kind of thing. And like, DJs at night kind of thing during the day, like everybody else.
That would be so dope. Plant-based, right?
What's that?
Plant-based. It's going to be plant-based? Yeah.
You already know. For those of you that don't know, I've been a plant-based chef for like 10 years. So yeah, that's like my focus, I think after when I'm kind of burnt out, but then it's like, again, I'd like to have like, artists and DJs and people do like, all that kind of stuff, like, just kind of still stay in it, but not, maybe not DJing as much,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have a cool thing with giving lessons too, where you can kind of have that to segue into also, which is I think also a good why it's good to be kind of versatile and understanding that being a DJ is great, but don't let it be all consuming, and you have to be multifaceted. And I mean, you hopefully you can DJ as long as you possibly can, but I think reality is going to sit in that eventually you're going to age out of certain things, and the younger kids are going to come in, and I mean I think. Anybody who's in their late 30s, you reach to the point where you're like, I never realized I was going to stop liking some current music, but what are the kids listening to?
Oh my God. Hello.
It's so crazy. So I'm like, definitely like, yeah, that's, amazing thinking about a restaurant or thinking about other things that you can do, but also utilizing the money you can make DJing. So, having accounts and, interest bearing and educating yourself on stuff like that, I think is super important, which I honestly didn't even start really doing until the pandemic is when I sat down and said, I gotta look into this rainy day fund.
Same. Yeah. I was like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but I wasn't. Yeah. I was just like, we're getting
I was like, you living. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's so scary. Like it's so scary. Like Anna was saying, we're not learning these things at school. And as you get older and you just start to realize what's really important, you're like, okay, so they weren't focusing on our mental health in school. We didn't learn about money. Like, how are we supposed to? Oh, it's so overwhelming. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I have a great idea to start a business. And it's like, now I'm working triple the amount of time I was working when I had a 9 to 5 in this business. You know what I'm saying? It's just the irony is like nuts.
Yeah, have you seen that TikTok where it's like I quit my 9 to 5 because I didn't want to work 9 to 5 anymore. Now I work 24/7. That's
so true.
The accuracy.
Once everything went like social media too, because it's content. Like you never get a break.
Yeah.
You never get a break. Like you constantly have to be posting. It's like you have to be doing these things now, because if you're not doing it, someone else is doing it, you know? So it's like,
you know what's so funny, Anna? I literally told someone this. They were like, maybe before the pandemic, you really need to work on your Instagram. I'm like, why? I'm a DJ. Either they're gonna know I'm good or not. I don't have to prove that I'm good. You'll find me somehow. Like I don't have time for that. Girl, the internet is powerful. Like even if you don't want to do it, like even if you are not into it, the new wave is hiring people to do it if you're not into it, because it needs to be done. Like even if you know you're not, even if you grow your page, I noticed that if you don't post in a couple of days, even that is like, oh gosh, I gotta post something. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not, the algorithm, it's a lot.
if you don't pay for X amount of promoted posts, you fall out of the algorithm because they want your money. It's like there's so much to it that, like, you know, if you talk to somebody that does this for a living, they'll sit down and tell you all about this.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. And the new generation of clients use social media to hire you. I have so many clients that come through and they couldn't tell me what a Yelp review was, but they could tell me the past 15 posts I had on Instagram. You know what I mean? They're looking at YouTube. They're looking at these stuff and they're asking for videos and for like content or mixes. I mean, if you don't have something that you can produce to people nowadays, you're not even gonna have your foot in the door. Like you really have to.
Yeah, that's true. Because every time I get an inquiry, I ask, how'd you find me? And most times people find me on Instagram, which I'm like, wow, like I didn't even realize. And I'm not this big, huge influencer. I don't have like a whole bunch of followers, but it's interesting to see where the people come from and the things that they like. When I got my link tree, I was just like, I just need to have everything in one place. But even when I was looking at the analytics for that, how many clicks I'm getting on it, people are like clicking the link. They're going to my website. I'm like, wow, this is managing the content on the web. It's a lot of moving parts. Like I will be so happy for the day to have someone help me with all of this stuff, because I don't know why people seem to think as DJs, we're just like luxuriating all day in the sun, sunbathing until it's time to go out and put on our Versace sunglasses and show up to the club in a cloud of like glitter. It's like, no, we're freaking waking up, posting, clients, corresponding. Like it's a lot.
Right.
It's a lot.
DJs that are doing that have people doing their own production.
Yeah.
There you go.
People are not even making their tracks. They have engineers doing all that. They just need to go.
Because I'm seeing DJs like at the gym with these girls with like these matching Lululemon. I'm like, how do you find the time to have this matching outfit on and you have full makeup looking gorgeous? I look a hot ass mess at the gym. Like, what? Where is this lighting coming from? Like, how are you doing this? And they have people helping them.
That's it. I mean, it's great. Yeah, it's all about. And people don't understand. Like, even me as a consumer, when I look at a company, I normally go to Instagram. Normally, even nowadays, I mean, normally I'm like, cool, let me look at their website. And then I also kind of want to look at their Instagram too, just to see how active they are and see what they have going on. And if I see they haven't posted something, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's kind of interesting. They must be nice to not post anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't myself saying that, you know. So, I mean, it's really important. It's powerful. I mean, Instagram, I think right now is one of the main places people go to vouch for any service you do. I think it's a vouching. It's exactly what it is. So, yeah. I think Michelle is asking about, I think that's the DJ. So we have Michelle Miller, who has been on the panel on other things before in the chat box. She's asking if the Sick Kick guy.
I think that's him.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I know he's in Canada. That's all I know. That's all I know about him.
Repping your home, Canada.
I'm from New York.
You're from New York. I thought you were from Canada.
I'm Canadian. I lived there for like 7 years.
Okay. So you're not Canadian. You just lived there. Gotcha. Okay.
Born and raised in New York.
You have some Canadian vibes, though. I mean, you have New Yorker vibes. You have a little Canadian. I think you're too nice for the New Yorker.
Really? Wow.
I don't know. I haven't caught you.
No, Anna doesn't. Before you know her, not that you're mean, Anna, but before knowing you, you just gave very much like, I don't play games.
So you do have a little bit of RBF. You got a little.
That's there. Yeah, that's
So we all know.
You gave a little bit of like, please do not come over here and talk to me about stupid stuff. If you come over here, I don't have the conversation for it.
Me, but it's like, no, I'm just focusing half of the time, or I'm just paying attention. Like I'm kind of an introvert, so it's also like I'm just collecting information. I'm just looking at everybody. I'm like looking at the scene, you know, and I'm just like, all right, and then I'll come say hi. And then it's like people start talking and they're like, oh my God, you're so nice. And I'm like,
you're like, wait, I wasn't expecting that. That's so funny. Now I remember when I thought the same thing when I first met you, but then you started, I'm like, oh no, she's actually nice. But yeah, it was definitely like you.
Yeah,
expected, and what I got was like, it's kind of, you know, but it is what it is. I mean, it's not bad. It's almost like you're too cool. Like I think we're intimidated by your coolness. We're just like, I don't know. Like,
not really cool. See, Kriscut, though, I met Kriscut when I was young. It was like,
yeah.
04. We were still playing vinyl. I know that.
We were playing vinyl at Risque. I have a picture of you, me, and Carla. Not Carla. Supra.
Carla, before she was even a DJ, CLA.
Yeah, she was a host at the Rio when I was DJing. So crazy.
That's so crazy because she's huge now and like crushing.
Yeah. So funny.
I remember I went inside the store. I was staying with Supra, Shauna. She doesn't even DJ anymore.
She doesn't. She has a restaurant, right? She has her restaurant business, which is really successful. So, I mean, having something after, like, you know, is really important. So
it was like,
I'm still trying to find my thing.
Kriscut and like Presto and all them, though, that got me on like the open format, like DJ AM style of mixing. Before that, I was all EDM before that. And you guys were like, nah, you gotta start doing this. And I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. And they set me up with like all this music. It was like 04, I think.
I was super hip hop. So you were super EDM and I was super hip hop. And now look at us. We're just like this all encompassing open format. So evolution as a DJ and to keep working is so important. You know, people are like, you can't pigeonhole yourself anymore because, you know, you have to have that growth mindset or else, you know.
You almost have to be open format to be a working DJ right now. I mean, unless you have the audience and the clientele that is super specific and it's like, yeah, we know we want an EDM DJ and this is you. Like you have to be accommodating because people just they want their events to be different than the next event, and so that now breeds these requests of like certain genres of music that you just like. I mean, I find myself being like, I don't know if I've ever even heard this, but okay, let me dive in. You know what I mean? And so it's like electro swing and different things like that. And I'm like, you know,
my gosh, there's so many genres and subgenres now. Oh my God, I can barely keep up.
Yeah, and it's funny, like dubstep nowadays is the equivalent of like heavy metal concerts back in the 90s is like dubstep festivals now, where they're like mosh pitting and it's the same almost kind of crowd.
And before I thought dubstep was something totally different. I don't know what I thought it was, but then when I listened to it, I was like, wait. This is not what I expected. I'm like, okay, these genres, there's so many genres.
Yeah, my cousin is like a huge dubstep, like worked with Skrillex and all that kind of stuff. So that's the only reason I kind of knew it. But other than that, I wouldn't. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's very overwhelming.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, even Skrillex, I don't even know if he does dubstep anymore. Like dubstep now has taken on a life of its own. If now they have dubstep where they have like people screaming over it. So it's behind the guy. And there's like people ripping their shirts off and it's like, it's just crazy.
Not people screaming over it. That was funny.
It's a thing. I'm telling you, I saw it on TikTok. I don't know how I ended up on Scream Talk or whatever, but it was like all these people who are heavy metal guys that were screaming and they were screaming over dubstep. And they were people.
Like, I think my cousin had done a remix for Korn. Like,
oh wow.
Years ago now. But yeah, and then they like performed it on Jimmy Kimmel. So it's like, it's kind of been like a progression of that. And like, yeah, all those metal dudes are now dubstep dudes. It's wild.
It's crazy. It's just been a so interesting circle.
Wow.
So it's very interesting. But I mean, that's why I think it's important to stay with the times. You have to understand, you have to be with it. You have to constantly be educating yourself. Don't ever think being a DJ is being content or being able to say, oh, I've reached the peak. I don't think any of us could say we've reached the peak. I think as soon as we think of reached peak, you're like, my God, I didn't even know I had to learn that. Like, what is this? Or they new equipment or, whatever. I mean, and granted, new equipment's great. I mean, there's stuff that, is out there that I'm looking into upgrading my setup right now. And I mean, the stuff that you have now on DJ controllers versus what was there a few years ago versus, the stuff that's equivalent to vinyl and DJ controllers now is, it's amazing the technology they have.
Even from music organization now, like, I don't know if you've seen what Crate Hackers is doing and like all the tips.
Yeah.
And like, compressing your folders and it's going through and deleting like doubles and this and that. And they have like programs that do it for you now. And it's like insane because like it cuts so much time. It's like, I would love to hire somebody.
There's programs that can delete your
Crate Hackers. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it'll delete like if you have X amount of say you have like 3 repeats of a song, it'll delete. You run it through this program.
Link please. Link please. Definitely need that.
Oh my
probably
God.
knock out so much music.
I don't know. I'll send you it when I.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God.
But are you using Crate Hackers? Are you? Because I asked my husband, I was like, I see this Crate Hackers thing, and I'm kind of interested in it because what happens is, for me on Twitch is sometimes I'll have a night where I just want to do a pop up, and I'll be like, new EDM music I've never heard before. Let's listen to it together. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering if something like Crate Hackers, because if they take the popular stuff. Are you using
exactly is it anyway?
It's very niche. It's very very.
It's only like curated by 3 DJs, right? The guys.
Right. It's more made for like the guys that are like the wedding DJs that don't fully know music very well. Like every playlist I've kind of downloaded, I'm like, this is pretty obvious to me that these are the songs I would play.
Oh, okay.
So, but there are a few I've gotten where I'm like, yo, that's pretty dope, but. I would go more for the tools that they have as opposed to like, I don't know, I can't say that. Not all the crates are bad, but a lot of it is just like, yeah, obviously this is what you're going to put here because they also give you the crates and then they put it in key and then they put it in by, they basically do everything but DJ for you. They put it by key and energy level. So like how to play it and like build up and do it. And it's like, it is an absolute genius concept. I wish they kind of just had a bit more, different DJs kind of making the playlist because it's like when the same dudes are making the playlist, it doesn't really. But it seems like they're extending more. Like they just brought on a couple new DJs. They brought on a couple scratch DJs, but it's just like it's a very typical like throwback hip hop set. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah, I know these songs already. Like I would have already went to them for like a throwback set.
So it'd be good for a beginner DJ who has no idea, or like
yeah,
they'd just be like playing, which is kind of scary if you think about it, because they could just do that Crate Hackers thing and play their first gig and kill it because it's all done for them.
Everything,
right?
Like
so it's like
everything but DJ for you, and the music organization stuff on there is amazing. So it's like it's definitely worth the money. You know what I mean in that sense.
Yeah, it definitely gives you a starting point, but I would beg to differ. I think you could, they could definitely go and have the songs. If somebody didn't know any better, maybe I think killing it would be strong. I think to kill it, you would still have to have the DJ knowledge to know how to present those songs in a nice way. You know what I mean? Like, how to mix out of them. I've heard some DJs that you're like, my God, how did you ruin that song so bad? Right. Mixing out of weird places and it's whatever. So there is a little bit of knowledge. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a great starting point. I think starting is sometimes the hardest part is just like figuring out your starting point. So definitely a good place to start. And I think what they do is they take from pools that you're already a member from. Is that right? Or something like that, that they just like figure that out. And then
yeah, that's the only part that sucks too, is like you pay for this service with them, with this crates, but then you have to own all the record pools separately.
Right.
It's like, if there's a certain crate on there and I want it, but it's like, say Club Killers or something. It's like, now I'm going to have to get a Club Killers account to get this.
Right.
Okay.
Who's you like that? At least you could still look at like the playlist and be like, okay, like a Bollywood kind of thing.
Sure.
It would it would be dope for something like, some niche genre like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know shit about Bollywood. I wouldn't know what to play, so.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Definitely. I mean, I know some of the record pools have, like, I know Club Killers have curated lists. It's not in the order. It's just current, like, top 20 stuff. But I mean, there's ways to find a starting point with all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm really weird with stuff that gets intermingled with my software. I always like weird, like, oh my God, what are they going to delete? What if they delete the wrong thing? But I heard good things. So I have to look into Crate Hackers, but that is definitely a thing. But we're running low on time, and I just wanted to show we have a comment here. Someone says, I want a QSC speaker with amplifier. Well, Manny, I have some news for you, sir. QSC actually has a contest coming out right now that it's their Obsessed 3 video contest. And all you have to do is upload a video introducing yourself, explaining what you do, what you specialize in, why you do it, what drives your passion, essentially why you play out loud. You take that video and you post it onto their link, which I will try to put in the comment box when I get a chance. But again, it's the Obsessed 3 contest. And the winner gets $5,000 in QSC gear. So Manny, if you want QSC gear, that's a good way to at least try to start there. If not, then, they have great products online for sale that you can purchase at, some very reasonable prices for the quality of products. So shameless little plug there, but great way to get that QSC products there. So with that being said, I want to be mindful of everybody's time. We are winding down. Thank you, everyone in that chat box that's been talking. Michelle Miller, shout out to you. She is doing some stuff at the DJ Takeover in February in Vegas. So shout out to her if you have any questions with that.
That one.
What was that?
He said something about the Mobile Entertainment Expo in February.
So Mobile Entertainment Expo, that is a expo for a lot of it's a lot of mobile DJs. It's definitely that type of crowd. Kriscut, I think, has been there before. So it happens in Vegas every February. They have opportunities for you to go and DJ at a thing that's called the DJ Takeover there. And what it is they take submissions, and then you have the opportunity to do like a 5-10 minute set or something like that in front of everybody. So it's an interesting time in Vegas. Actually, coming up in Vegas also is the Wedding MBA for people who do weddings. That is another educational event. I will be there. I'm actually DJing at Park MGM at Mama Rabbit on Monday for a networking event there. So that should be fun. Also my birthday weekend. So happy birthday to me.
Yeah, what? Are you a Libra or a Scorpio?
What was that?
Are you a Libra or a Scorpio?
Scorpio. I'm November 5th. Scorpio.
Of course you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
And so that's going to be fun for that. So that's happening November 8th through the 10th. So if you want some wedding education in addition to some fun time in Vegas, there you go. You can do that.
I'll be looking for your stories, you too, because you'll be in Vegas. So I'll be looking to see what kind of debauchery you guys are getting into.
Oh, no. I already got my table reserved. I'm going to be checking Flow Rider out Sunday. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to be getting low, if you will.
Okay, if the knees will allow, let's get it.
If the knees allow, golly.
As low as this middle age is going to allow me to get, you know what I mean? But with that being said, so those are two great opportunities for people who are DJs who want to learn some more about, the wedding or at least the mobile side of things. So once again, that's Wedding MBA, which is November. What Michelle is talking about is the Mobile Beat Expo, and that is February. Both of those things happen in Vegas. So if you want to check those out, great resources. And again, QSC is doing the Obsessed 3 video contest. That's your opportunity to win $5,000 worth of QSC gear. So we definitely want to give them a plug as well, most importantly, and make sure you get those DJ entries in. That's a great opportunity. I'm going to be entering myself. I have plenty of QSC gear, but you know what? You can never have too much QSC gear. That's what I always say. But that was a little bit about me and what I have going on. AK, what do you have going on in the next coming weekend, whatever you want to do?
I've got a stream tomorrow evening on Twitch, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This Saturday, I'll be doing a wedding for Keelez and Associates. Sunday, got another guest stream coming up. Then I'm going to be celebrating my 8-year on Twitch, my 8-year anniversary. So I'm really excited about that. It's actually happening the same day as Beats for a Cure, because this month, October, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I will be a part of that. Kriscut will also be a part of that. It is like 160 hours, 80 streamers, 5 or 6 days of streaming and DJing. So that should be pretty dope. So that's all I got going on this month, besides, Halloween stuff and other bookings. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram or Twitch or wherever at The Real DJ AK47.
Absolutely. Anna, what do you have going on?
Just quite a bit of local gigs over here in West LA, Venice Beach kind of area, some corporate events, some stuff with Serato coming out soon. That's it, really. It's just mostly gigs at this point,
We're all just trying to survive. We're keeping our head. We've all made it this far through October. I think we're just trying to make it to November and just kind of taking a deep breath. Yeah, that's awesome, right? tail end, I think, for all that. What about you, Kriscut? What do you got going on?
Wednesdays usually game night 6:30 to 9, but I'm pondering canceling depending on what's going on with my car. We'll see what happens. Not like I need my car for Twitch or anything, but I'm just like,
That could be an interesting one.
but like anyway, life. So and then I have the Beats for a Cure with AK47. My set's on Tuesday at 7. I actually had the weekend off for the first time in a few months. Friday, Saturday, I'm completely off, which is amazing. Oh no, actually never mind. I'm working Friday. I just got called in. So just keeping up with local gigs and trying to see people who come into town. So, and of course my Twitch channel pop-ups all the time. Follow me there and on Instagram at DJ Kriscut, twitch.tv DJ Kriscut as well. So yep, that's it.
Nice. That was a very nice plug. You flowed that nicely. You had said that once or twice before. That was awesome. That's good job. Awesome. Cool. Well, again, y'all, we are winding down. They only give us an hour here for the D discussion. We could go on all day, but we need some more content for next week. And I'll tell you, we're sick and tired of content anyway, so we got to save the energy for the next time. But always a pleasure chatting with you, amazing DJs. Thank you all so much for joining us in the chat box. And also, I'm just going to pop this up here right now. So once again, that's the Obsessed 3 campaign. Let us know why you play out loud, and you have the chance to win $5,000 worth of QSC equipment. And that is some amazing equipment, y'all. If you've never used QSC, the sound quality is something else. Those are the kind of speakers you don't want to throw them down some stairs, but stuff happens. If they were to fall downstairs, they would more than likely continue to work. I mean, you could probably set the bad boys on fire and it'll work. I don't recommend it.
Have confidence.
High quality QSCs. You guys know what I mean. It is what it is. So anyway, thank you all again so much for joining us. Kriscut, we got AK, we've got Annalyze, and I am DJ Keelez. Make sure you follow us all on social media, which you can find our handles down here below, which this is always weird for me, which is Anna gets it. Anna's so cool that she gets it. We're just going to point down. Pointing down, I think, is the way to go.
I was wrong this time.
This time, yeah, there you go. I'm terrible at this. Like, I can't. I don't know why. I can't. My perception is off. I'm like not good. Wow, there we go. And then I poke my head that way. Maybe this way. I'm terrible at this. I'm gonna end
He's like next. We're all like,
yeah, it's like right. Yeah. Have you ever played a remix and then you look in the audience and you see somebody who's like doing that, like just kind of
absolutely.
That's the most annoying. I want to say, anybody, don't do that. Don't do that. That's why I'm going to leave this. Please don't do that. We don't want to see you unless you're truly doing the robot and you're about to bust into the worm. I don't need that in my life. That's not that kind of energy.
He said, "No, I'm not here for it."
Do not walk up to the DJ and go choo choo.
Like, yeah.
Oh my God!
Nobody likes that.
How you used to be a DJ too. I don't care.
We don't need to. And if you DJ,
no way.
Good for you. I don't need to know the story. I'm glad that you had the chance and the opportunity. Amazing. But with that being said, we will leave you all with that.
Serato?
I know, right. I know. Can I touch that? No, you cannot. No, please don't touch anything. Get away from me. Anyway, with that being said, 6 feet. There's a whole thing now. No, we love you all. We are just teasing. This is just a bit of DJ humor. We love you all. Thank you guys again so much. Thank you, QSC, once again for having us.
Thank you.
We will see you all next time on the next panel. Take care, y'all.
Bye.